you brought a 3-day-old baby to the chiropractor.
We went when he was 6 days old.
Okay, 6 days old. So Kelly and I have had so many arguments about this because I'm like, that seems like the weirdest / dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I think that babies are like malleable and it's not like they're bendy and it's fine. She's like, birth is traumatic. I'm like, I don't think birth is traumatic. I think that's like your kind of evolution. That wouldn't make sense evolutionarily, even though it is kind of weird because it's like we haven't really caught up. If you watch any animal give birth and then you watch a human animal give birth, one, I mean, also we can talk about hospitals and how those stirrups and that style of giving birth makes very little sense at all. Like, gravity doesn't really work for you. There's like, I can't imagine just like laying, like it just doesn't make sense, right? The tearing, I think that happens through a lot of that too. But the baby chiropractor, I can see kids like for sure. Like, like I can see your kids now, like they're older and they're not older. They're like what, 5 and 2, something like that.
They're 4 and 2.
4 and 2. I was so close. I can see that. But the infants at chiropractic, like what in the actual fuck is this all about?
Okay, cool. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Birth is traumatic.
Okay.
Imagine being squeezed like nonstop in this compression. Imagine you're like in a compression tank and you're just every 5 minutes, you're getting the living daylight squeezed out of you. That's intense. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Even if it's not in your head, like a nightmare situation, it's still intense for you. You're getting squeezed hard. And then your skull has to go through a tiny little canal. And it is going through bone. It's going through the pelvis. The head is extremely malleable. But what happens if the head is slightly cocked to the side and the jaw comes out like this?
Yeah.
But you don't really notice it. Well, what if that is the reason your baby has latch issues, not a tongue tie? Right? What if the jaw is slightly misaligned? Like, what if they come out with that facial presentation? Remember we were talking about
and we were talking about, like, there's been a lot of photos lately. Maybe we could share one on the gram where like the face comes out first.
A little jutted out. Right? Like, it's not like you're fracturing their skull. That's not the trauma we're talking about. It's just they're being squeezed to shit.
Yeah.
And so even though their skull is super malleable, there might be some misalignment when they're being squeezed like that.
Okay.
Especially if they're in a weird position.
Yeah.
They still come out vaginally, but if they're like sunny side up, or if they're head is tilted to the side, head is slightly tilted. An adjustment can be a game changer for colic. Colic can be just a birth injury. Like for the woo-woo moms out there, colic is not a real thing. Colic is where babies scream nonstop. I was a colic baby.
Okay.
They scream nonstop. And it's like pediatricians just say, oh, they're just a colicky baby. Right. So what's wrong?
That seems like wrong. Not an answer. Yeah.
It's just colic. It's kind of like a weird ass description for your baby will grow out of it one day. Well, what if they don't? Could be a birth injury. It could be a medication injury. You know what I'm talking about? A
medication injury. Yeah. We know.
Yeah.
It's super subtle. Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm really so censored these days that my language matters.
Because I didn't get it for a second. I was like, wait, a medication injury? I was like, oh, we get it now. Yeah.
So chiropractic care can be extremely valuable for aligning their jaw, for aligning, even though the bones in their skull are so malleable, just like checking the tension in the muscles around the skull. Baby adjustments, they say, is like testing the ripeness of a tomato. It is not like...
Yeah, I think that's part of it too. Like the eventually, I mean, because when I go to the chiropractor, right, I'm like, yank that shit, baby. Let's go.
Siobhan just started getting like adult adjustments.
Oh, okay.
And she's 2.
Yeah.
They're really gentle. Like, I mean, with newborns, it is literally just kind of like fingers gently touching the spine, kind of like, you know, literally just touching it.
Yeah. And Lindsay, when I saw Lindsay do it, I was like, Lindsay Marshall, that's Birth Fit. And is that her handle now still?
Lindsay Matthews.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Now it's Cantu.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause she married Lance.
Yeah. God. Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
Love it.
But Lindsay Cantu, yeah, if you want to go find her, we can put her in the description. She when I saw her do it, I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense to me. Like when I started seeing it, but it was my immediate reaction was like, absolutely fucking not.
If you see a baby with flat head,
yes,
right, that is a sign that their range of motion is disrupted. or they just have negligent parents, but I'm not going to go there. Most often it is just a disrupted range of motion. So chiropractic care can be really good for them for their cervical spine. So they move their head with ease, right? So, I mean, I'm a huge fan, obviously. My kids have gone since birth. And if you believe in the power of chiropractic care when it comes to the nervous system as a whole, it's really incredible for their general wellness and their overall health and their immunity, because hopefully we know that, most of us in America don't know that your immune system is controlled by your nervous system. If your nervous system isn't working, your body's kind of shutting down. So if you have a nervous system based chiropractor who really kind of gets in touch with that, your baby's going to be real healthy. I mean, my kids get sick. I'm not going to be one of those people who's like, my kids never get sick.
Yeah.
They get sick.
Well, kids should get sick.
Yeah. But they're fine, So I'm a huge fan.
Here's the deal, Jack. YouTube hates us. They hate us. We're being persecuted against. I don't want to say it's because of my race, but we can make some assumptions. You know what I'm talking about? And one thing you can do to really help this channel out is subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, turn on post notifications, and leave a comment on this video. Okay? Overcome the hatred. Be the change you want to see in the world. Live, laugh, love. Subscribe to the fucking YouTube channel.